It is that time. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Mahala Monday. September's almost done. Heritage Month is almost done. From me, Dougal, hello. Yes, Rhoda.
Yeah. Good morning, Dougal. Welcome everybody to Mahala Monday. You know, quite a crazy weekend, a heritage weekend, but it was fabulous being out of the office, Dougal?
Yeah, no, certainly it was wonderful, and we hope you've had an amazing long weekend as well. It certainly was an exciting one, as you say.
It was very exciting. So Dougal and myself was on site at Blue Route Mall. It was so very nice. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Tiring, but it was good.
We certainly had a good time. But what is even better is the fact that you're watching this with us right now. Mahala Monday, and September month almost done. And that kind of leads us to what we're going to talk about today.
Definitely.
We just hope you have whatever's left of September, make the best of it. Just a couple of days to go. But the most important thing is that you're watching this, and of course you can be part of the show. Now, right now, we invite you for your comments and questions, and of course the details you will see at the bottom of your screen at Nickay Productions. I tell you what, that is what makes Mahala Monday Mahala Monday. That is why you want to be here, Rhoda.
That is right, Dougal. That gets me up every Monday morning. Mahala Monday.
Yeah, no, it certainly is. So let's shift it straight into what we're going to talk about. Now, a while ago, you would remember that we spoke to the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust. And this is, what an amazing organization. Let me just put this out there. Absolutely an outstanding organization, and that is what it's about. We spoke to them, and we thought, you know what, we got to catch up again with them to see exactly what they've been up to, and more importantly, what they want to do for the next while. But a phenomenal organization indeed.
Phenomenal. I've always been, you know, when it comes to the Tygerberg Children's Trust, Dougal, it's just a little bit of a soft spot for me. And you know what, I will feature them 100, I don't know how many times on the show, because of the fact of, you know, the good that they're doing and the support they have for, you know, the families out there. And you know, just the fact that people can come with their kids and their parents and they support them, you know, the support, and this is where the Children's Trust come in. The support for these families. I get very emotional when it comes to Tygerberg Children's Trust. No, very close to the heart, very close.
No, and it is. And just from our previous discussions with the Tygerberg Hospital Trust, because they really service and help people from all space, that they come from really far places as well. And it's a huge amount of children that are patients, and then of course the family support. And the one thing I remember having the discussion the last time we spoke about them is that patients that came, it wasn't just a 1 day, 2 day visit. We were talking about like lengthy visits, of course. And this is just the one part where they help. There is so many others as well. So really fantastic. But without further ado, I think let's get them in. So no stranger to the show at all. He's been here before. The CEO of the Tygerberg Children's Hospital Trust, Jason Falcon, is joining us, as well as Taryn Fortain. And we're going to find out her story as well. So to both of you, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us on Mahala Monday. How are you guys doing?
Good morning, Mahala Monday team. Thanks for having us again.
Good to see you, Jason. Good to see you. Taryn, are you doing well?
I'm doing fine. Yourself?
We absolutely awesome. Really fantastic. And thank you very much for joining us. So we're going to find out exactly the journey around Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust. We will find out everything that we want to know with that as well. And I just wanted to say thank you very much for joining us as well. Now, I'm going to let Rhoda start off this one, because normally I go first on Monday. New day.
New week. So Taryn, I think we're going to start off with you, because I do believe that you are a Tygerberg ambassador, Goodwill ambassador, am I correct?
Yes, I am.
So we obviously have a story regarding Taryn and, you know, how all that started. So why, obviously there's a history behind why you connected to them. And one of the things we had discussed, prior to the show, is that you were at Tygerberg Hospital, am I correct? And why were you there?
Yes, it started in 2006. I was 5. I just turned 6. And then I got really ill as a young child, so my grandparents were a bit concerned. And then they took me to my grandma's hospital. And then the doctor told me I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And the first thing he told me was go straight to Tygerberg Hospital.
Wow.
And ever since then, I've been in the hospital for 2 to 3 months. until I could learn how to inject myself and how to look after my sickness.
Sure.
So how old were you at that stage? Let me just rephrase that one. How old were you?
I was 5. I just
5.
turned 6. I just entered 6 years old.
So you
That's
basically
wine.
just that, like, you were just about to start school, as it would were.
Yes, I was in grade art, preschool.
Wow. I mean, that must have been quite difficult because I'm listening to injecting yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm petrified of needles. I would probably just have died eventually because I'm so scared of a needle. Oh my word. So,
Yeah, it was very difficult.
yeah, and how long were you at the hospital? Obviously, having to figure out exactly how to treat you.
It was 3 months for the most.
3 months.
Between 2 to 3 months for the most, yes.
So now you spend that amount of time at the hospital, of course, and as a very, very young person, which is wow. Now, were there a lot of kids where you were? Were there a lot of other people that were also, a lot of youngsters that were also having the same sickness and illness that you had?
In some of the wards, they were diabetics. I think the nurses used to put all diabetic kids together so that we could help each other or look after one another. But along the journey with Tygerberg Hospital, I met plenty of kids with different illnesses and chronic backgrounds. So here and there, I had friends with different illnesses, and we learned to help each other and how to rely on one another and just support each other.
Okay. So there were a lot of youngsters there now. So, and that was the first time you ever heard. But I mean, like at 5, 6 years old, I mean, you only know so much. But that would have been your first ever interaction with the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust at that young age.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And then, if I can just ask, in that time that you were there, was your mother or father, anybody there with you in that time, or were you having to do this by yourself?
I was raised by my grandparents because my mother had me when she was really young. So I've been Oma and Opa's little baby in the house, and they've been supporting me for 15, 16 years since day one when I got diagnosed, and they're still supporting me. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sure. Well, and now, if I may ask, you were injecting yourself at a young age. Obviously, you had to learn how to do that when you were getting older. My assumption would be now you're pretty proficient at that. You're very good at it.
Yes, I'm a professional. I have to inject my grandpa as well now.
So, quick one. So, how did you become a Goodwill ambassador? I mean, this is what everybody out there also wants to know, because everybody wants to do something as well and not 100% sure how to go about it. You know, how did you become a Goodwill ambassador?
So my story is pretty crazy and exciting because I think in the beginning of the year, one of my friends tagged me in a photo, and she asked, "Isn't this you?" And I was a bit shocked. I was like, "Yes, this is me. Like, where did you find this photo?" And then after that, Jason Falcon, the CEO, reached out to me, and we started speaking about my journey with the hospital. And then from then, I've always wanted to be part of the hospital and help the kids where I can, especially the preemies or the babies, any of the kids. And then things just hit off from then.
Okay. So that was the moment
there's
where
the photo.
where you reconnected with the trust. So is that the photo that you saw, that you were told? Is this you?
Yes, it's this photo with the green shirt.
The one I was going to say now is the one with the green shirt, that beautiful big smile.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can see that as you, and there you are. So with a green shirt, just on the left of the screen, you got your arm there over the arch. Now, I wanna ask you why were you in the photo? Was it just were the other children? They're all patients?
Yes, all the kids are patients. Some of them are diabetic, and others have other chronic illnesses. Some of them were on the same ward or different rooms as us, but we all became friends. And the reason I was in this photo was, like I said, I was in hospital for 3 months. And part of those 3 months, you went to school at Tygerberg. there were different outings, you could do different activities. And on this day, everyone got different colored t-shirts, and everyone had their own like private nurse to go with him on this journey.
Wow.
And I'm not sure where it was, if it was at the house or the office, but we all got into a little taxi or quantum bus. And then we headed to the arch, and he was making jokes with us. We were laughing, just spending some good quality time. And afterwards, we went for McDonald's. So it was
McDonald's.
And you remember, you described the day so vividly. Yeah, you describe it to the
were
team.
so young.
Yeah, and so you really remember that as well. I suppose.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I suppose seeing that picture there, you know what I mean, it would have just jolted all those memories.
Memories as well.
Yeah, that you have, all of that. So at the time, because we know him, everybody knows that
yeah.
the Arch is certainly, it's a huge personality, and it's a laugh a minute, really.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember? I mean, I want to ask you, like, what is the exact reason you're laughing there? Because all of you are laughing
All
in
of
sync.
you.
I mean, that is. Do you vaguely remember? Because I know he did probably 150 jokes.
I remember like 50%. So all the kids got gathered around the arch, and we were just being together in a photo, and one of the nurses took our picture. And the arch was busy making jokes, and he told us all to yell sweeties, even though majority of us couldn't eat sweets. I think that was the joke behind it, because the nurses were laughing as well.
Sure, especially for you with the diabetes, I mean, that's like not something you want to your sweeties at that age.
And do you know what? Let me ask you this, Darren, because you know, like you say, that is for a child and a grown up, for any person. When you hear sweet, the sweet is, you know, sweet
Not
is a
good
sweet.
for you.
But I mean, the mindset around that, you know, being a patient and a child, I mean, you see all children around you constantly doing it. I mean, how difficult was that?
It was very difficult because, you know, here you are diagnosed with this new illness that you have no background about, you have no knowledge about it. You're just being told, oh, you can't have sugar, you can't do this, you can't do that. And it was especially difficult in primary school when I got invited to birthday parties, because all the other kids got cake and they could eat sweets or drink certain cool drink. And then here you are, you have to eat Lay's or knickknacks or Coke Zero or Tab. So it was really difficult, but along the journey, I've managed to control my diabetes and my sugar levels. But it's really difficult.
I was just going to say that is so difficult. But I think obviously, I'm thinking now, like once somebody that's older that gets diabetes, you know, you're used to all of these treats and eats and, you know, and obviously at your age now, it was an adjustment that you became part of your life. Am I correct? You are constantly having to watch and look, and it's quite a norm, because at your age, 21, a lot of people only at the age of 45, 50 having to adapt to a life change where it's become part of your life. Am I right?
Yes, you are. It was very difficult. But when I was in the kids section of the hospital, my doctor was Dr. Zollner. And with every visit, he made sure that we went to the pediatrician just so we could get a list of all the foods we could eat. And on this list, there were certain items, like there was chocolate, there was sweets. And they managed to shift it according to how many insulin you take. So then now and then you can have a sweet or a piece of chocolate, but you just have to monitor your sugar levels. And whenever you got sick or you weren't feeling well, then Dr. Zollner would give you a card with all the hospital's emergency numbers. And he used to add his own private number, and he made sure to call us. He told us that whenever you're feeling sick, you can just dial directly to his home. So he was really helpful.
Wow.
Okay.
Just shows
So,
you.
yeah, and that is fantastic. And that also speaks to the synchronicity and the way that the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust would work. Now, Tara, I want to ask you quickly, what is your role with the trust now?
My role as the Goodwill ambassador is to bring more awareness to the trust and to be a role model or spokesperson for the kids of Tygerberg Hospital, as well as the mothers and their preemie babies. So all in all, what I generally want is for people to become more aware of what the trust is doing and what we are trying to achieve by having all these different types of events or activities. So yeah, I think in general my role is just to be there for the kids and to speak on their behalf.
Yeah. Now let's bring Jason in here, because he's the one that you mentioned just contacted you or contacted you and reached out to you. Jason, how did you even get hold of Taryn? Because somebody sent her a photo, and then you reached out to her as well, and I'm sure it's probably in the same timeline. How did you get to know about Taryn?
Well, Dougal, you mentioned the word earlier, which is synchronicity. Very apt word, and a good choice, by the way, because that exactly describes how the trust, this trust, just keeps evolving from day to day. You know, that image of Taryn and the art and the other kids is so important to our organization. It basically, in that one image, it encapsulates everything that we are about. We have a wonderful patrons there who's actually laughing. We have all these kids who, if you look very carefully, you'll see different expressions on their faces and different reactions to that scenario. So, you know, over the past 3 years that I've been with the trust, we actually use that image to help us understand what is our role in a hospital, what are we trying to become, what type of organization do we want to be, and what do we want to achieve. So I mean, for the past 3 years, we've been doing exercises like in every January.
Yeah.
The team sits and takes that particular picture, and we try and personify each one of those kids, and we take turns swapping around to see what kind of life can we paint for those pictures, and that puts us in the shoes of our patients and helps us understand what our role as people working for this organization is.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've done it for 3 years now with that picture. It's just a simple exercise, but so powerful. And earlier this year, we posted that image on social media, and we got a massive public response just to posting that image. And then I saw someone tag Taryn and say, "Hey, isn't this you?" I was so surprised when I saw that. I thought, no, wait a minute. Is it really the same child? I went to look at Taryn's Instagram photo, and there I saw that exact same smile, and thought, no, it's definitely her. Let me talk to her, because, you know, what an amazing story this would be if we could go full circle from a child coming into the hospital with a rare and debilitating disease.
Yeah.
The hospital helping the child over so many years, now grown up, a 21-year-old adult and an ambassador of the trust.
Yeah.
Wow.
What an amazing story that could be. And also how powerful going forward to have Taryn as an ambassador for our kids. I mean, she's literally been through it all.
Yeah.
She can speak more about our organization on a practical level than I ever could.
Yeah.
So just on that alone, it's an immensely powerful opportunity for us to have Taryn as a Goodwill ambassador.
Yeah. You know what, Jason, just on what you said, and this is, Rhoda and I were talking about this off air, and this is why we are so in awe of the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust, because it is easy for me and you and Rhoda to have the conversation. Now, you know, I've been lucky in that regard. I haven't been, well, I know where hospitals are, but I haven't really been in, visit a patient here or there. So we've been lucky in that regard. To hear, and where your focus is on children, just to hear Taryn say at 5 and 6, and when birthday parties were difficult as a kid. Now, all of a sudden, it's a very different perception for me now. Now you go like, oh, this is not easy. And then we're not looking, I mean, Taryn is one case.
That's
we're looking
one
at thousands,
case.
hundreds, lots. It is the whole support system that the trust establishes, which is just brilliant. And I think that is absolutely fantastic that you're doing that. And well done, like you say, having Taryn on board.
Taryn
I mean,
on
what a
board, most
story.
definitely.
Absolutely exceptional story. But I love the fact that the arch is laughing there. You know what I mean?
That's the arch.
Yeah, if you haven't laughed, then you spent 5 minutes with him. That's 2 hours of laughter in 5 minutes. Trust me when I say that. Do I say that? So, Jason, just to talk about that, because the month of October is obviously huge as well, especially when it comes to the Arch, your patron.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, on the 7th of October is the Arch's birthday. On the 14th of October is Mrs. Leah Tutu's birthday, so they're very close together. The Arch is turning 90 this year. Both of them have been amazing patrons of the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust since our inception in 2001. So more than 20 years of patronage. And last year when I wrote to them asking them if they would like to continue being patrons, they agreed, but of course they can't be active patrons. They've retired from public life. We asked them permission and the blessing to start the Tutu Tigers leadership platform, which is linked to their patronage. So the Tutu Tigers are a group of exceptional ambassadors who can carry on their patronage going forward. So in that way, it allows us to retain their patronage, but also be practical with it, and also create a platform that could carry on their legacy in perpetuity. So this year on the Archer's birthday, he's turning 90 on the 7th of October. It's a very special birthday for him. For us, we'd like to spend as much effort and time as possible to honor them. We are doing a few things on and around the 7th.
Yeah.
We are launching or revealing 4 new Tutu Tigers, which will bring our total of tigers to 8.
Okay.
We'll also be announcing our very recent commitment by the Dean of the St. George's Cathedral as their mentor going forward, to help us live up to the Archer's legacy, and also the St. George's Cathedral itself as a sort of spiritual home for the Tigers.
Mm-hmm.
And also various using our social media platforms, inviting all the friends around the kids in the hospital, the doctors, nurses, all these old friends there, getting them to wish them happy birthday, and then just sharing those videos across our social media platforms. And then something very, very special, a streetwear brand in Amsterdam called Pata has agreed to collaborate with the Tutu Tigers platform to create a one-off limited edition commemorative Arch Tutu 90th birthday t-shirt. 100% of proceeds of the sales will go towards the trust, and these t-shirts will be sold globally. And we're only making 200 t-shirts. So extremely collectible and very rare and special.
Wow.
So wait, you said a lot there, Jason. I think we need to just backtrack a bit, because our listeners out there probably had all this information and they're hearing the tigers and they're hearing t-shirts. Just a quick one, because a lot of them are sitting there thinking, how are you bringing tigers in here? So I just want a bit clarity. It's not animals, just a bit clarity on, tell us about the Tutu Tigers, because I think a lot of listeners are sitting out there and thinking, why is this people bringing in tigers?
Well, the Tutu Tigers is a very special ambassador program, different to the Goodwill ambassadors. Goodwill ambassadors are more about individuals like Taryn who can stand on their own stories. The Tutu Tigers is a specific leadership platform of ambassadors, which is their sole purpose is to carry forward the patronage and legacy of the Archbishop Tutu and Mahala Tutu's work with the trust. And we sign every year. We sign on 4 new Tutu Tigers.
Okay.
We started this last year on Youth Day by signing Vernon Philander, Joan de Jong, Ashley Johnson, and Cornell Hendricks.
Wow.
All guys, global sports stars who grew up in and around the footprint of Tygerberg Hospital. So they helped us found the leadership platform last year. This year we want to extend the platform, and we've done that in various ways. One of the ways is by partnering with the Dean of the St. George's Cathedral to help us stay on the straight and narrow with regards to living up to the Archer's legacy.
Archer's legacy.
Yeah, and then also we've chosen to celebrate the Tutu Tigers platform on the Archer's birthday from this year onward on the 7th of October.
Brilliant.
And then the very, very special collaboration with Pata as a as a brand.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And just touching on, I mean, the Tutu Tigers that you mentioned, I mean, as you said, there's a world class athletes. They absolutely superstars. Now, the new four that will be announced, of course, that is the big surprise, right? And that is when those announcements will be taking place.
Yes.
Yeah,
Brilliant,
yeah.
brilliant.
So we can speculate. We'll make little lists of who it is because
Yes.
we're gonna do a little speculation. That is most certainly what we're gonna do. I wanna ask you about Pata and how they got involved, but before we do that as well, is some really great. We're gonna go straight with the Pata. Let me ask you that. So how did Pata of Amsterdam now get involved with the Tutu Tigers? How did they say, okay, listen, we want to do this?
Okay, so it was always our intention to create multiple levels of support through the Tutu Tigers platform as its own brand. And we looked at, probably for a year now, how can we use the Tutu Tigers brand to attract a global audience of supporters, because it really has a global potential. And when we approached Pata, it was really not even a half an hour conversation. When they heard it's the Archer's 90th birthday and what the Tutu Tigers is about, they basically said yes. By the next day, they had appointed their lead designer to help design the artwork that will be on the commemorative T-shirt. And that was it. It was as easy and straightforward as that. And Pata is a unique brand in the sense that they are extremely socially focused. They look towards doing good in the world. And I mean, if you look at the types of collaborations that they do on their website, they've collaborated with Jordan, with Umbro, with Kappa, with various global brands. But they collaborate around social impact and doing good. So I think this was a natural fit for them, and they jumped on the opportunity.
Yeah, and I'm loving the fact you're only making 100 of them. Am I correct? Only 100.
We're making 100 in white and 100 in black, with the same mural.
Yeah.
So 200 in total
200
for global.
Wow.
Globally.
Wow. That yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you want to get your hands on one, right?
Most definitely.
Most certainly you want to do that. So Taryn, to ask you, I mean, when you hear that, it is certainly, there's a lot of exciting things happening, and of course your input is so important. And when you hear all of those things that Jason has just said as well, and I want to ask you, and I want to revisit this question with you. Why is it then so important for you to be part of this? I mean, listen to what Jason said as well. Jason said, he said why it was important, but why in the inside of Taryn as a young person going through all of that? And was it an easy decision for you as well, just to say, yes, Jason, by all means, I'll be part of this?
Yes, the first time I met Jason in person, I met him with my grandma, so we spoke about how I became a Tygerberg patient, and we covered my whole background story with the hospital. And the minute I met Jason and we spoke about the trust, I immediately knew that it was a yes for me, because I know what these kids go through. I've been there myself, and I honestly when I was younger, I wish that there was someone older that could just guide me and teach me and tell me that it's okay, you can just take a breather, you'll manage, you'll cope. So it was very easy for me to say yes, because I really want kids to feel that they matter, because now you get diagnosed with these different types of chronic illnesses, and then as a child you'll feel like, oh, but there's something wrong with me. So I want to be there for the kids. I want to tell them, like, no, like having this disease or chronic illness doesn't make you who you are. Like, it doesn't label you to be a certain way. You can still do anything you put your mind to.
Yeah.
So
Just quickly, Taryn, I'm just sitting and I'm thinking now to myself. I mean, you basically. I mean, when did Jason approach you? What age were you at?
I was 20.
20.
I was still 20.
So I'm thinking now, 20 years old, you've got your plans and everything already in your head, what you were thinking, and bam, here comes Jason. obviously it just kind of threw not even a curveball, it just gave you a bit of more direction on what you as Taryn wanted to do as well?
Yes. So initially growing up and with my journey with the hospital, I really wanted to do pediatrician. I wanted to become a pediatric doctor, help the kids. Because, visiting the hospital, you see all these different kids and what they go through and what they struggle with. So I was very interested in studying and becoming a pediatric doctor. And then high school came and I did electrical engineering. And then college came and I was like, no, graphic design. Because graphic design is to the heart. Like, I love drawing, I love art, anything with art. So now, when Jason came in, it wasn't a curveball. It was nothing. It wasn't a curveball because it just made my circle complete. Because I was at the young age saying I always want to work with kids.
Yeah.
And then I'm doing design, and now I'm doing both. So it just made my circle complete. I'm 100% satisfied.
I'm loving that.
It's a good story. It is a really good story. It is a really good story. So, we got some comments on YouTube as well, which we're going to show you too. This is one from Hubert Paul. So, morning, Hubert. Hubert says, if your actions create a legacy that inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are an excellent leader and an inspirational role model, Taryn. And there you have it, Taryn.
That's for you, Taryn.
There you have it. I mean, that is full circle right there. Stamp, seal, delivered, as they say. Also, Hubert says, the Archers, you're the heart and soul of the country. Simply speaking, there would be no us without you. So thank you, Arch. You know what?
Oh, yeah.
Certainly,
So
that is absolutely spot on. So, Jason, how and when do people get their hands on these limited T-shirts? Can you divulge?
So,
it's a top secret.
So what I can say is, on our website, there will be a pop-up space shortly dedicated to the Tutu Tigers collab. So if you go to our website, you keep visiting there, sooner or later, the space will pop up and there will be a link to an e-store where you can purchase the T-shirt there. We will only reveal the T-shirt on the 7th.
Okay.
We'll also have a pop-up store, a physical pop-up store in the city where we will sell an exclusive 50 T-shirts in store.
Wow.
And the founder of Pata, one of the founders, Mr. Edson Sabaja, will be here. He's flying down next week with his family to celebrate the artist's birthday with the trust. He will be in store to sign limited collectible cards to go with your T-shirt in person, in store. So stick around, keep following our page. You'll see the link pop up there shortly.
Yeah. So that is it. It's going to be on your social medias. It's going to be on your websites. It's going to be everywhere, right?
Correct.
Okay, so so there you have it. So you got to be checking because I'm definitely going to keep a close eye there. We'll be keeping a close eye there. So on screen, tygerbergchildren.org.za. That of course the website, and from there you will find the social media links as well. So this is just absolutely outstanding. But let's make no mistake, the Tygerberg Children Hospital Trust do amazing things, and it is essential. And Jason, I remember from our last chat, I mean, when you look at the services that the trust render and the support and everything that goes around it, it has become such an essential part now of the healthcare system.
You know, Douglas, our job is so huge, just as a trust, not even talking about the hospital, just to try and support so many different things. The sheer scale of the trust challenge is almost unfathomable and probably unreachable. But we are trying to create as many platforms as possible to attract different levels of support. Our basic role day by day is to try and make as many friends as possible, so that as a collective, we can bring as much change towards the needs at Tygerberg as possible. And I think that strategy has worked for us up till now. We're starting to make global friends, as you can see. And the more we do that, the more we can increase the friendship circle and the greater chance we have at having success to doing the many things that we actually want to get done in the hospital for our kids.
Yeah.
Jason, I really just want to, at this point, take my hat off to you and your team. I mean, without you and your team, none of this will be possible.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you know what? To bring in the human element here, you guys are going way and beyond helping other people, families. You know, it's not for you guys. And I want everybody to understand this and know this. It's the needs for the family and the children that comes to Tygerberg Hospital. I don't think people understand the extent of what you need. Like you said, it's impossible. You'll never be able to reach a goal to even to support these, the families for the rest of for as long as Tygerberg is going to be there. I want to take my hat off to you guys. Well done. Well done.
And yeah, if I may add, I mean, we're talking vast numbers here.
Wow.
We're talking absolutely huge, and the amount of work that you do. And we know this because, it's not the first time we
Not the
talk to you.
first
And that
time.
is why it's such a
Oh, yeah.
thrill and pleasure just to
Oh,
talk
yeah.
to you. It's not the first time. It is every time. I'm just like, I'm in awe. And now I'm in awe as well. And more importantly, of course, with your patron celebrating birthday
Oh,
coming
yeah.
up, and just a couple of days later, Mahala celebrating her birthday, a week later, in fact.
That's right.
It is just brilliant, and it is really, really a happy occasion. And that is what it's about. And just well done. Darren, let's go to you quickly. Exciting times, definitely, and we love the energy that you have and the commitment. Any closing thoughts from you? There might be people watching this that little children that's going to a hospital as well.
Oh, yeah.
What do you say to a mother and father? And when the trust is there, little children watching this, what would you say to them? You've been through this.
If I could put it in simple words, I would say that it gets better. Once you're lying in the hospital, you're thinking about all these things like what's going to happen to me, am I a burden, stuff like that. And the question is no, like you're in good hands, especially with Tygerberg Hospital, because the staff are so friendly, especially the doctors. They help the parents, they help kids. You feel at home. For me, when it was with Tygerberg Hospital, it wasn't like I'm going to hospital. It was like I'm going to my second home. The nurses are so friendly, the staff, everyone, they support you 100%. And my message to the little kids would be, although it's tough now, it gets better in the future. Having this chronic illness or having a different type of sickness, it doesn't define who you are as a person. You can still do whatever you want. You can play sports. You can do this. You can do that. You can have a sweet now and then.
Now and then.
Yes, but it gets better. Honestly, it does get better. And I just want the kids to know that are watching, you have our support. You have the trust support. You have everyone's support. And to the parents, there will be times where you feel that you're not coping. Like giving my grandparents, they had a really difficult time with this illness of mine because it was hospital in and out. And you're stressed, you're constantly on edge, like what will happen to the child? Like, is the child sick? What do I do? And for the parents, it gets better. Trust me, it does. We should just all support the kids and show them that there's more to life than just this label saying that you have a chronic illness. There's way more to life. You can do anything you set your mind to.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow.
That is.
Wow,
And
wow,
you know
wow.
what? You've said that, and there's also a comment on Facebook that I just saw a short moment ago. It was from Yolanda Smith, who says, Taryn's story is a beautiful story, and Taryn, you are a very inspiring and special young person. Just wishing you the best. So, Yolanda, thank
Wow.
you very much
Thanks, Yolanda.
for sending that. Hubert on YouTube says, Oprah Winfrey once said, a mentor is someone who always allows you to see the hope inside
Wow.
yourself.
Jeez.
There's a bit of the tears are going to flow, man. It's, it really is. But Taryn, thank you so much for your time. Jason, coming back to you, firstly, we just want to wish you all the best. And of course, the more support, the better. Which way and what is an effective way for anybody watching this? They want to make a contribution. They want to get in touch with you. How would they go about it if they want if the public want to support the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust?
Man, just reach out to us and get involved. We've created so many easy ways to get involved with us. It's not always about asking for a financial donation. We have a great volunteering club called the Champions for Children. We encourage you to join. Once you've joined and you're inside our conversations because you are one of our friends. So, it's easy then to do stuff together. Many people want to do events on our behalf, little fundraising gigs or something. Get involved with the Champions for Children volunteering club and we can help you. It's as easy as that.
Wow.
No, as easy as that. And of course, you can also visit the website, which is very, very easy, tygerbergchildren.org.za. And also, you would have seen a short moment ago, we had banking details there, and we definitely ask you to support. But like Jason said, you get in touch with him as well. Have a chat with him. Just have a chat.
Yeah.
That's what
He's
it's about.
available.
Yeah.
Chat.
Have a conversation. That wraps it up from me, Rhoda.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any questions for Jason?
I'm questioned out. I'm overwhelmed as usual, always chatting to the Tygerberg Children Trust. It always gives me a bit of an emotional roller coaster, but thank you for that.
Yeah. Jason Falcon, CEO of Tygerberg Children's Hospital Trust, and Taryn Fortuin, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for coming on Mahala Monday. Yeah, thank you for sharing your stories, and more importantly, also telling us to look forward to those T-shirts that's coming, and of course, reminding all of us that the art is celebrating a big birthday very, very soon. And we wish you well with all the great work that you do as well. So thank you for your time.
Thank you guys. Have a good day.
Thank you.
So there we have it. I tell you what, inspirational story firstly, Taryn's story, Rhoda.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, let's just break it down here. You're 5-6 years old. She said grade R, is that what
That's grade R?
Yeah, grade 1.
You're still a baby.
Baby, man. Baby.
Still a baby.
Diabetes. It's a type 1. That's heavy. A rough hand, you being dealt there. The trust supports her, and this is where the trust kicks in.
I was just
you know what I mean? Because there's a lot going on. Because now you're in months and weeks in the hospital. Mommy needs to stay with you. This is where the trust looks after you, because now it's accommodation, all these sort of things, and making it as normal and as easy for the child. This is where the trust comes in.
That's right. And for me also, where the trust is concerned, education has get involved. These kids need to be educated on how to live their life to its fullest. I mean, having diabetes and, like she says, other chronic diseases as well and other ailments as well that these kids have to learn to live with. And the doctor support from Tygerberg Hospital, just educating them and saying, this is how you're going to do it. And can you imagine, even the hospital, they have to feed these kids. And there's a special dietary requirement. It's not your normal years, your plate of food. You need to look at each of these kids and figure out how they're going to feed these kids if they don't actually have these funds in.
Exactly. And it's the support around all of that. It's the support around all of that for the families. And now imagine you're not here. You're not close to, geographically close. You live somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
You need to now trek here and stay here for that amount of time.
That is so true.
It is the whole support around that. And to speak to the influence of her time as a young person. I mean, she said she wanted to do pediatric. She wanted to be a pediatrician. That was the first, because that is what she exposed. She saw the difference. She saw the hope, the desire, the help, the aid. This is what she saw. And I mean, and on the trust side, Jason and them are doing amazing stuff. They're doing amazing stuff. Then they partner with Pata. We've got this amazing initiative coming, and of course, it is their Archer's birthday. Beautiful. All we can ask you to do is definitely have a conversation with them, but do visit their website and have a conversation with them, because there's lots of ways that you can volunteer, of course, and they do absolutely amazing work and much, much, much needed work, as we all know. And then we, to paint, I don't want to make a picture worse, but they're doing everything, and it's still in a pandemic. And they're continuing this hard work. We got to help them. We certainly got to do it. Just a quick one, Director. Do we have a little video or something you're wanting to play? I think we can end off with our little video. Let's do that. Yeah. So, guys, have a fabulous week from me and Dougal. Ta-da.
Greetings. As proud patrons of the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust, my wife Leah and I, we're trying to make this hospital better. But every month we lose a trained nurse, an essential piece of equipment, a desperately needed bed, and inevitably, a child we should have been able to save. Without your kindness, we may soon have nothing left to lose.
Arch, Tutu, and Mrs. Lear have taught us to live in the service of others. Please donate and make a difference in the lives of millions of children. Support the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust. My name is Emma and I'm 6 years old.
Okay.